To achieve new heights, one needs direction. Nature is the greatest artisan. It is respectful of time, and time respects nature. It is the life force that is the impetus behind all those seeking to conquer, the inspiration of those who see beyond, the very source of emotions for those who perceive the majesty of the world. Wherever its eyes look, the Alpine Eagle sees only wonder. An opportunity to embrace breathtaking beauty. Only the Alpine Eagle sees beyond the top of the mountain. Only the Alpine Eagle can gaze directly into the face of the sun. Determined to reach new heights, it seeks power at its greatest peak. Once upon a time, but not so very long ago in Moritz, this small village was blessed with an astounding view of the Upper Engadine Valley. Those were carefree, relaxed and flamboyant days. As the village grew, hedonists would gather here in Moritz, on the very top of the world, transported by their quest for sport and elegance.
I had the conviction and the idea to introduce a chic and versatile, sporty-looking watch for Chopard, which would fit the lifestyle of Moritz. For the first time ever, we treated steel as if it were gold. Would be something totally different to what we have done so far. So it was obviously a daring move.
The Moritz was crafted following the American architect Louis Sullivan's legendary concept that form should follow function. The 8 polished screws that sealed the dial were thus both extremely functional and a distinctive design feature of the watch. The Moritz very soon acquired worldwide renown, becoming the iconic watch of its time.
The Moritz was the first sports watch of Chopard. It was just when my son started in the factory.
I tried to convince my father in particular to launch this watch, which was made of steel and which would be something totally different to what we have done so far.
Until then we produced only ladies' and gentlemen's watches in gold.
We had a lot of challenges.
The watch was presented in Basel 1980. It was a success for more than 25 years. This watch had a very special look, and from far you could identify this is Chopard, this is St. Moritz.
Alpine Eagle today, the project is very similar.
The story really started when I walked into the office of my father one day. I saw this watch and he told me it was St. Moritz.
It began with my son who trying to convince me to re-edit a sports watch similar to St. Moritz.
I think with a revamp it could really become an icon of the Maison Chopard. I brought the idea to my father. I went to my grandfather.
He kept on insisting, he kept on wearing the watch. Then he convinced me to think about relaunching this St. Moritz watch, which I must admit fits very well into its time again today.
The easy way was never really the Chopard way, I'd say. It was a good challenge to bring them back to the St. Moritz and make what is now the Alpine Eagle.
Working on this project is quite unique in the industry because we have 3 generations working together on one project, and to see that all 3 of us have a passion for the watch. It's hard to invent something, but it's even more difficult to reinterpret a great design. 40 years ago, I was involved in the design of the St. Moritz watch. And the idea was to have a sports watch in steel, which was for our company revolutionary at the time. My inspiration comes from nature, from objects, from books, and basically all of this ends up with some kind of inspiration.
When I went back and took a look at the old sketches, that's really where everything started for me. This inspired me, and we decided together what we could change and what we could modify, together with my grandfather as well.
The underlying principle for the design of the Alpine Eagle and already of the St. Moritz, we applied the principle of form follows function. Every detail counts.
Every single edge has been mastered to the perfection.
A crown has a function, but it's also a beautiful object. We use in-house automatic movements which are chronometer certified.
So the hands of the watch were inspired by the feathers of the eagle. You can see like this dial that recalls the eye of the eagle. With this circular motion, it really breaks the straight lines of the watch.
For the Alpine Eagle, we retained the idea of having matte and polished surfaces.
With the lucent steel, what really strikes me the most is a very unique shine and a very unique glow to this watch. It's still a fascinating object.
That collaboration between 3 generations on a watch project is basically unique in the watch industry. Every time I was able to go outside, in particular to the mountains, it always made me feel very good.
Nature was always very important in my life.
I happen to see sometimes these very rare Alpine Eagles, which are just unbelievable creatures.
We wanted to pay homage to these life forms.
In today's world, it's very important for companies to take on a responsibility when it comes to preserving nature.
Nowadays, for our generation, it's a must to not only make theories and make plans for nature, but it's important to take action. We are the ones that are going to make the change.
Inspired by the ancient alchemist's dream to transform lead into gold, Chopard endeavored to create a watch made of a steel so unique it would become a precious material. Chopard asked voestalpine, its historical metal supplier located in Austria, expert in developing top-quality products and system solutions, to conceive this new type of steel.
Mr. Carl Friedrich Schöffele approached the production to analyze the possibility to integrate the new Chopard lucent steel in Alpine Eagle collection. He gave us the instruction to develop and to integrate this steel. Mr. Schöffele wanted to create a work of art.
We sought out to improve all the properties presented by standard watchmaking steels to find a very unique steel with extraordinary properties. That means our team performed and carried out a lot of tests and trials over nearly 4 years before we could start to promote, to launch the product.
His mechanical resistance is very strong, much stronger than the normal stainless steel. Durability has a higher hardness. It's about 50% higher than usual steel. This steel is anti-allergenic, is similar to medical and surgical steel in composition and in properties.
The durability is improved by changing the molecule structure and also optimizing the microstructure. The steel has to be melted a second time, and with this process we can reduce the number of inclusions as well as the size of inclusions and can achieve a very high cleanliness.
This steel is more shiny than any other stainless steel. This material is very clean and pure.